Hey guys, it's Tracy here. So today I'm going to do a start to finish video for you guys with this little Instax album from the Studio Calico shop. It's the most adorable little size. Here's a 3x4 card to show you. It's tiny and it's really, really cute. I thought this would be a great way to get some of my Instax photos out of this box and into an album, so I can actually, flip through it, and, if people wanted to take a look, they can, instead of just digging through this box here full of pictures. So I went ahead and I pulled out 10 of my favorite albums, my favorite pictures for the album. So there's 10 page protectors that come inside, and you can fit 2 of these back to back, but I also wanted to include little tags and some cards using the Brimfield Project Life add-ons. So I'm going to show you sort of just how I put this together. I don't really have that much of an idea of how I want this to go, so the end result is going to be a surprise to you and me. So I'm just going to put that aside, and I'm going to be doing these little tags. I'm using the largest tag die, and it actually fits perfectly inside one of these little Instax sleeves. So I'll just have to cut a little bit off, but I thought that would be kind of fun to add the little tags. So I can add some embellishments and maybe a little journaling if I want. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out my pictures. These are all sort of different pictures that I've taken. Some are with the actual Instax mini camera. Other ones I've used the printer and printed them out from there. So what I like to do when putting an album together, and I do sort of the same thing with my Project Life album, is I like to put the pictures in first. This way I can sort of get an idea how I want them in the album, and then afterwards I can go through and just sort of embellish away. So these little albums, they're so cute. I wish that it came with little paper. That'd be really cute to have around. Is that weird to say? Have in my purse. This one in here. So as you can see, that's how much is in the album so far. So you could easily fit in 20 back to back if you wanted to, but because I am going to be embellishing, I'm just going to use the 10 that I have there. So I had this tag that I wanted to use. And that's okay that it doesn't fully fit, because of course, remember, the pages are only a certain height, so I'm not too worried about that. So let's just put this here. I like to use a bit of washi tape when I am using my Cuddle Bug, because it helps just to keep the card and the die in place. So I like to run it through twice just to make sure that it does a clean cut. So you see, it just pops out like that. So what I did is another thing, I went to Staples because you know how a lot of the normal tags, they have the little reinforcement hole. So I went to Staples and I just bought some reinforcement labels. These ones are just from Avery. I think these cost me $1.50 and there's 900 of them in there. And then I kind of thought, oh, well, you know, plain white label doesn't necessarily look the greatest. Then I thought, hey, I'm going to add some gold to it, naturally. So I took this Heidi Swap Color Shine Mist. It was in the Studio Calico shop, but I've had this for quite a while. And so then I just took a few sheets of the labels and then I misted them. Now you could probably use watercolor paint or markers or anything like that, or any other color mist that you have, and it just kind of takes them sort of to the next level. So, and naturally, of course, I like to have gold. So these fit perfectly over the hole in the large die, just like that. Now, you don't obviously have to do them gold. They also have, I think they have clear ones too, but I just liked the idea that I could make them any color that I wanted to. Inside here, like that. Now you can see the little corner part. That doesn't really bother me. If it does, you could always just back it with another piece of cardstock or something like that. So that's kind of fun how that works. And if you wanted to, you could also add a little bit of string, and then you could have that sort of hanging out over the page protector if you wanted. But I like to keep things sort of neat and tidy. A little trick that I've picked up, I think it was from Kelly Perky actually, was to take an eraser and rough up your stamps before you first use them. This way you get a better impression when you first use it. Because I know that I used to hate stamping because I could never get my stamps to stamp nicely. And this is literally like a game changer. And watch, now that I've said this, it's not going to work. There, see? I always like to test out my new stamps a couple times just to make sure that it gets a clear impression. So there is my finished mini album. As you can see, it didn't really take very long, and look how it's just so cute. So I decided that I didn't want to put anything on the actual photos. This way, if I want to, I can easily change them out. Just kind of in general, I don't like to do anything too permanent to my Instax pictures, just because, you know, later down the road I may decide that I want to put every single Instax picture that I ever took into a separate album. So I'll just do a quick little walk through here, as you can see. So I started out with just this one of me in New York. And I really like how these little tags worked out. I think if you have a chance that you should pick up the die, because this is one that I use all the time, and they fit nicely onto a like a 3x4 card too, if you wanted to, you know, cut out a tag and then layer it on top of a journaling card. So, and I really like the little reinforcements on there as well. So I as you could sort of see, I picked colors that sort of went with the pictures. I do this in my Project Life album too. I like to, that's one of the reasons why I like to put the pictures in first, because then I can choose sort of my cards that go with it to sort of complement what the pictures look like. So I really like how this one turned out. Good vibes only. And these little cork bits from one of the Project Life add-ons from Brimfield is really cute. I like those. It's a cool little font. I thought about maybe changing this to "Why Can't I Just Sleep All Day?" because that would have gone with a picture of my bed, but I do often read in bed, so that works out nicely. And this little travel card was great. I took this picture at the top of Rockefeller Center in New York, and it was kind of cool with my friends were each from different places, so that was kind of cool to have that one, and it tied in with the travel card here. I really like this color. Doesn't really match the picture, but it's still kind of cool. Grand adventure awaits in the picture of Seattle, and then I just kind of closed it off here on a single picture like that. I do have an extra sleeve, so I'll probably add something else to it. Maybe another one of my Instax pictures. I'll go through my book, but yeah. So I hope you guys liked my process video here, and hopefully I'll have some more for you soon. Thanks, guys.